Hello and welcome back to the Villa View 4 preview ahead of Aston Villa's game tomorrow afternoon against Sheffield Wednesday at home. Dan, I'm going to start off, as per usual. I'll ask you, what do you make ahead of this game? Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday in a much better position to where we are. Obviously, we played them on the first game of the season where we lost 1-0, and our seasons have gone totally different ways.
Yeah, I think I read earlier that Nathan Baker's probably going to be the only survivor from that first game, which probably tells you the amount of upheaval that we've had even just this season, not even taking into account the summer. I think we've played a good top six side in Huddersfield on Tuesday and played well without getting the result necessarily that we deserved. We'll have to put in a similar display to beat Sheffield Wednesday or even get a point against Sheffield Wednesday, but it's back to that old thing again where we simply have to be more clinical, otherwise we will get beat.
Wednesday actually travel quite well on the road. 18 away games so far this season. They've won 6 of them, drawn 6 of them and lost 6 of them. And Villa's home record is comparable in terms of how good it is, but this is going to be a real test. Obviously they've got Sam Winnell, Fernando Forestieri and of course Jordan Rhodes. There's 3 big players in terms of championship goals there. And if we haven't got our wits about us, it could be interesting to say the least in terms of the way we've defended before the previous few weeks.
Yeah, well, if you go back to probably when we played Sheffield Wednesday the first time, you'd have said we had Gusted, who had a good record in the Championship, and we had McCormack, who had a good record in the Championship. Now we've pretty much only got Codger, who's got any kind of form, goal-scoring wise, as a forward in the Championship. There's too much reliance on him currently, and I think that shows that when he doesn't score, generally, we don't tend to win games. But you've just reeled off a list of competent Championship goal scorers for Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, there's multiple attacking players you have to stop from them, and simply for us, there's only really one player you have to stop, and that's Codger. So if they silence Codger, it could be a long afternoon for us because I don't see them not scoring for sure.
Well, on top of that, they've missing a few players, but that shouldn't make too much difference given our injury list. They're missing Sam Hutchinson, Abdi, Ross Wallace and Callum McManaman. They're all facing late fitness tests. For me, the key one there is Ross Wallace. If he's missing, that's a link that I know that we struggled to keep hold of in the opening game of the season. Obviously, things are different for us, but our injury list is hardly pleasing to the eye either.
Yeah, the injuries we've got a lot of players out, but I'd say if you look at that first 11 that we think's probably going to play tomorrow, and we think that it'll be the same team that lined up against Huddersfield, that could arguably pass as our strongest 11, other than probably maybe Amava at left wing. Other than that, you'd say that's possibly, arguably our strongest 11 in my eyes. I don't know whether you agree with that. I can't think of anyone that would come into that team. People will obviously say Hutton at right back, but that's not true.
No, I agree with it. I think depth-wise, I think it's more the case for me rather than actually the starting 11. Our depth isn't great, which doesn't help when you want to rotate the system, especially someone like Milienak, who I know is so key, but he's not always great when it comes to playing back-to-back games and everything else. But we are expecting the same lineup that did line up versus Huddersfield in the week then.
I'd have thought so. I mean, there's not many ways in which he can change things. I mean, I'd like to say, I said in the preview for Huddersfield, I'd like to see Amavi do well at left midfield. The only possible thing he could do is put Blackett-Taylor in on the wing, who obviously came on against Huddersfield and made his debut. But I don't see Bruce doing that. But in some ways, you kind of think, well, will Amavi be here next season? I'm not sure that he will. He's a good player, and he's you can see he's quite loyal to Villa, but I don't see him being here next season. So you kind of think, well, you may as well chuck Taylor in on the wing and see what he can do, because he's going to be here next season, whereas Amavi probably won't. I don't think we've got anything to lose at this stage by throwing the youth in. We're not going to go down. We're definitely 100% not going to go up. I think we need to chuck a few of them in and see whether they sink or swim, because next season I think they'll form a big part of the actual squad. I'm not saying they're going to be in the 11, but squad-wise, I'd like to see us fill out some positions with people who've come through the academy, because I think that's the best way forward in the Championship. You have a base of strong Championship players, then you've also got a few wild cards, if you like, in your youngsters. I mean, we've seen how Andre Green did when he's come in 2017. He's done very, very well. So it'd be nice to see some others given a chance before the end of the season.
Form-wise, Sheffield Wednesday going to this game having drawn with Burton Albion 1-1 in their last game on Tuesday, and previous to the weekend to that, they actually beat Norwich City 5-1. So They can score goals for sure, but it proves that teams can hold them up, especially Burton, who obviously Villa didn't do great against either.
It's a big game. They've already beaten us once. They're definitely capable of beating us again. But to me, I think we'll come away with something. I'm reasonably confident.
Well, at the moment, the table shows us to be in 15th place, 45 points. A win could lift us up to sort of top half sort of position of 12th-ish. So a win could really be handy in terms of where we finish this season. Obviously, we've both predicted in an article that's gone out on the Villa View website that we'd have a strong finish to the season. With you predicting, I think, 18 points from our final 10 and me predicting 20 points. So we're obviously reasonably confident. And we've both predicted draws for tomorrow on FanScore as well, the app that we have got our prediction league on.
I think I can see us going one down, to be honest. But I think at some stage we've got to show some fight and get back into a game where we go behind. I mean, too often in games we go 1-0 down and you just think, oh, we're not going to score today. That's it. The same thing happened on Tuesday. We were creating chances, doing well, didn't tuck them away. We go 1 down, game over. And at some stage, even going into next season, if we've got any ambitions of going up, that's got to change, because you will go behind in football matches. But we just haven't managed to turn games around. I can't think of a game this season where we've gone behind and won. Can you name me one? I put you on the spot there. I've killed you, but I can't think of one.
I still do know the fact that we've dropped. I think it's still 22 points. It stands out we've dropped this season from winning positions. So that's the alarming stat that still stands.
I can see this being very much like the Leeds game around Christmas time, where we went 1-0 down, then we got a Codger penalty and got back to 1-1. I can see this being like that.
So a scrappy encounter, you're predicting 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be one for the purists, for sure.
Well, I haven't actually copied you here, because I predicted 1-1, but I've predicted Conor Hourihane goal, and I'm predicting we're going to score first in the first half. I've predicted 14th minute for that goal on the FanScore app, and you can do the same. You can go over to the FanScore app. There's going to be a link in the description, so you can join our prediction league. Over 250 of you are now in that prediction league. There's going to be a link in the description so you can try and join the league as well. You're currently leading the three of us. Currently, Dan. You wasn't in the last game week. 132nd you are now, 786 points. Dan behind the camera, 135th place with 779 points. I'm 154th with 720 points. So it's quite close there. But never know what can happen in the next game week.
When we set off on this FanScore journey, I think we all said that we were looking to be in the top 132. So pleasing for me to sneak in there, to be honest, and you lads have let yourselves down.
I'll take a top 50 finish by the end of the season.
You'll be lucky. Top 50? You're not even in the top 132, mate.
So fan cams are back after the game tomorrow evening. Dan and I will be around speaking to you, so come and give your thoughts on the game. Also, like this video if you have enjoyed the preview, and comment your views ahead of the game tomorrow afternoon. And make sure, if you haven't already done so, head over to our website, thevillaview.co.uk. There's plenty of new blogs on there at the moment, and videos, and part 3 of the Ian Taylor interview. And make sure you are subscribing to the Villa View with your post notifications on. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another one? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. And don't forget to subscribe. Click on our logo there on the left and press subscribe. Easy.